I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV, episode number 165. It is a pretty decent week here at Alter Ego Comics, and hopefully at comic book stores across the country. We've got some cool stuff to talk about, and we'll kick things off with Original Sin number 3. This is written by Jason Aaron with artwork by Mike Deodato. This is Marvel's summer event book, 8 issues, every other week, multiple tie-ins, miniseries, the whole 9 yards. We're both big fans of Jason Aaron, so we were really looking forward to this one. First issue was strong. Second issue, to me, kind of faltered a little bit. But this issue, wow. By the end of this book, I said, holy hell, what is going on here? And that sealed the deal for me. Actually, the whole issue was very solid. Pacing was good. Artwork was great. Storyline, really good. And then the end of the book, just, as I said, seals the deal. So if you're a Marvel fan, this is a must-buy as far as I'm concerned. And by the time this video goes up, it will have been out for a few days, and the internet will probably have all the spoilery information on there. But don't let the internet spoil it for you if you haven't read it yet. Stay away from the internet. Back away from the internet after you watch this video. And go pick up Original Sin number 3 and check it out.
Cool. Also from Marvel this week, we've got Cyclops number 2, written by Greg Rucka, with art by Rick Russell Dodderman. And we both really liked the first issue of Cyclops, and I like this one as well. But I kind of knew in the back of my mind that this wasn't necessarily going to be a straightforward, happy, fun romp, because that's not really the kind of book Greg Rucka writes. His character's usually complicated, and there's usually something going on beneath the surface. In this issue, we start to see what that is, and it got me. Like, it's very exciting. It's very fun. Rucka is remarkably good at writing young Scott Summers, like as a believable teenage boy. Rucka knows a lot about teenage boys, apparently.
So does Josh.
And that's all there is to say. Cyclops 2 is really good. It's as good or better than the first issue, and if you're not reading it, you're missing out.
If you're not reading it, you're wrong. Let's just put it that way, because it is. I mean, I also thoroughly enjoyed it. It was in my top 3, but I gave it to Josh to talk about. Also in my top 3 this week, Amazing X-Men number 8. This is written by Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost.
I think you just...
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Craig Kyle and Chris Yost. Artwork by Ed McGuinness, who I really like. And Amazing X-Men has changed hands. It started out written by Jason Aaron and was started to bring Nightcrawler back from the dead. And so he's back. He's different. We don't know what it is. I don't know if he doesn't have a soul anymore or what, but that's kind of what I'm thinking happened. But the book is just continuing like it's a normal X-book now. A normal X-book for people that grew up reading X-Men in the 1980s, which is perfect for me, and that's one of the reasons why I really love this book. Really strong.
A normal X-book for people who can name the members of Alpha Flight.
Yes. I don't know what to... honestly, I have not paid any attention to Alpha Flight in such a long time, as I'm sure most of you have not. But there's this connection. Basically, the story revolves around Wolverine goes to Canada. Again, he doesn't have his healing factor anymore. He wants to get away from the school. He goes up to visit Heather and James McDonald Hudson, and that's right,
McNeil.
Right? Heather Hudson.
Isn't it McNeil?
It's McDonald.
McDonald? Okay.
Old McDonald. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if a redhead shows up in an X-Men book without something to tell me who she is, I'm totally lost.
It's Jean Grey. Or Rachel Grey. Anyway, goes up to see Heather. She's all distraught. And then they're going to find Vindicator / if his code name is still Vindicator, I don't even know.
I think
she was Vindicator for a little while. But it involves the Wendigos. So the Wendigos, this is called World War Wendigo. Try saying that 3 times fast. But the premise is it's disgusting and cool. Apparently you become a Wendigo when you consume human flesh. And there's an army of these things, and you'll see why that happens if you check out the book. But having said all that, it is a fun book. There's some humor between Storm and Iceman, Colossus and Nightcrawler. It's just, these are my X-Men. Those of you that are younger, even you grew up, with kind of the Generation X team, and these people that I don't even know and I don't want to know, don't care about. This is my X-Men team, and that's why I am totally digging this book. So I almost didn't pick it up because it wasn't Jason Aaron, but I gave it a shot. And I'm really glad that I did.
Yeah, actually, Amazing X-Men had my favorite joke of the week, even if it was a little out of character. The Storm and Rachel exchange.
Oh, yeah. That was good. In the Danger Room that looks suspiciously like the Danger Room from the X-Men movies.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm sorry, not Danger Room.
Cerebro.
Cerebro Room. Cerebro
I think
Room.
Cerebro is the room, sort of, and the computer.
Cerebro's the device.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Also, very humorous and a lot of fun this week. Big Trouble in Little China, #1 from Boom Studios. This is written by Eric Powell with some help from John Carpenter, creator, writer, director of
Composer extraordinaire, master of the Casio keyboard, John Carpenter.
And we've got art by Brian Chirilla.
Atomic Robo's Brian Chirilla.
Oh, I like that book.
I think that's right, but I'm sure you'll research it before it goes live.
There aren't words. It's such a great book. Now, this is allegedly the first time there's been any new content since Big Trouble in Little China came out, and this picks up directly from the end of the movie. You know, the movie,
like right at the
like
end.
Literally, yes, we actually get an overlap. I think we get Jack's speech, and then it picks up right from there at the end. And the layout of the book is fun. I mean, the front of it looks like a Chinese restaurant menu. And it's just, Eric Powell has such a great grasp of what made the movie funny. You know, Jack Burton is a over-the-top character, and Powell manages to hit just that right amount of over-the-top so that it's funny and exciting, and it's just great. I think my favorite part, or my favorite element of it, is that in a comic, there's no budget. You know, right. In Big Trouble in Little China, there were some decent effects. Some of them for the time were quite good, but they were limited to what they could do as what they could afford, even though they saved all that money on the score by getting John Carpenter to play it on his Casio keyboard.
By only having Kurt Russell, well, I guess Kim Cattrall was in it after Mannequin, perhaps.
Egg Shen is a big deal. He's
prior
in a lot
to
of
Sex in the City. Yes. Makes me want to watch The Golden Child.
Or
also featuring Egg Shen.
Three Ninjas, if you're a little younger. He was grandfather.
Was he in Three Ninjas Kick Back?
I'm not sure. He might have been. But just great. If you like Big Trouble in Little China, this is a no-brainer. It has every bit of the spirit and the fun of the original. If you're not familiar with it, you should be. Go out and watch the movie.
It's streaming on every service known to man, so check it out.
Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China. Great.
It's good. It's very solid. Yeah. I forced my children to watch the movie. I've told Josh this, but I haven't told you this. Not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago. And they complained throughout the movie, but didn't ask me to turn it off. So we did finish the movie, but now the running joke in my household when I say, "Here, kids, let's watch this movie," is it's not Big Trouble in Little China, is it? And then they talk to their friends about it. Have you seen this movie, Big Trouble in Little China? And they didn't so much like it. But can't win them all.
No.
Okay, so speaking of not winning them all, there are 2 books that came out this week featuring. There are 2 second issues that came out this week: Nailbiter #2 and The Woods #2. I raved about both of these series when the first issue came out, and I'm here again to issue a plea to pick up these books, because they are both excellent, both creator-owned books. Nailbiters by Joshua Williamson with artwork by Mike Henderson, and I've become a huge fan of Mike Henderson. I'm following him on Twitter, and he posts artwork every day. Just amazing stuff. And Joshua Williamson, you have made my short list of people where I will read anything that you write at this point. That's how good Nailbiter is. Okay, The Woods. Nailbiter is about the town that gives birth to all of the serial killers. First issue was red hot at Image, sold out. They've done a second printing, which is also available. So of the 2, I think Nailbiter got a lot more heat. But The Woods by James Tynion IV and artwork by Michael Dialinis is also excellent. We talked about it when the first issue came out. It's very much a insert your favorite high school cast into this, and then the school is taken to another planet, and there are things that eat the kids. The adults are trying to hold their stuff together, and they're kind of at odds with a lot of the kids. There's a rogue group that goes off into the woods to because they think they have the answers to stuff. It's just a cool mystery, sci-fi, teen angst, comedy, drama. There's very little comedy. Let me take that back.
There's some humor, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah, similar. I use that term loosely to Morning Glories, where you have a group of kids who are thrown together into a strange situation. But this one is much more off the rails than the Morning Glories. Anything can happen in this. And,
well, these are much more regular kids.
Yeah,
Morning Glories
Morning
is like
Glories
weird
was
conspiracy.
Yeah, the best of the best, and this is your average high school.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm pleading mostly with our local customers, all three of you that watch this, to pick up these books. Really, they deserve to be checked out. That is all.
And I believe that's 2 Boom books we picked in the same week. That hasn't happened very often. Just saying. Boom is upping their game. They're getting good creators, and they're getting good results. So,
yes.
Go Boom Studios.
Boom. Goes to Dynamite.
Last up for me this week is Afterlife with Archie, the graphic novel. This kind of came in under my radar when it originally started earlier this year, partially because it kept selling out as soon as it came into stock.
Right.
Written by Roberto Aguirre Sacarsa. I'm sorry. Sacarsa.
You should be.
Sacarsa. With art by Franco Francavilla, which is a huge draw. Francavilla does a lot of covers and stuff. And he was doing interiors on the other book.
He did interiors
Dark
on
Shadows? No.
I don't know if he did interiors, but he did interiors on a couple issues of the Guardians of the Galaxy not too long ago, and then he did the James Gordon Jr. stuff from the Black Mirror.
Okay, a while ago. Yes.
Yeah, he's done other stuff, but he's primarily doing covers.
Very moody, very, his coloring is good. I mean, he's not necessarily the colorist
very unique.
on it.
When you see a Francesco Francavilla,
oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize.
When you see his artwork, you know it's him. Anyway, carry on.
It's exactly what it sounds like. Zombies in the Archieverse. And I could care less about zombies or the Archieverse, but somehow putting the two together was incredibly appealing. There's a lot of great pop culture references. There's some very cool horror-y elements. I don't know, they managed to make me care about Archie Andrews. That in and of itself is deserving of an award. The characterizations are great. You know exactly who every character is with, just moments of notice. And it's neat because Archie sort of made their bank on decades of drawing every character exactly the same. So it says something for the characterization, the way they're written, the way they're portrayed, that Francovilla's art is a little different. You can't just look at it and go, oh, that's immediately Archie. But they still use, through the characterizations, you can tell who every character is. There were some surprises here, surprisingly emotional stuff.
There were 2 points in this book where I got a little choked up.
And it's great. I don't like horror, I don't like zombies, I don't like Archie, but I like this. This is just good comics. It is for everyone.
Except for young children.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them. Probably not.
This is not Archie for kids.
No.
But ditto everything that Josh said. I read this in one sitting, which is rare for me.
On a Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday night.
You were busy.
In addition to reading all the new releases that I needed to read for Wednesday morning, I also read Afterlife with Archie from cover to cover and loved it.
So this is the first 5 issues? The first whole story arc.
Yes, first story arc.
5 issues, 6.
Not sure if it's worth mentioning, but the version that we have is exclusive to comic shops. It's a previews exclusive, so you're not going to find this cover anyplace else. It's also out in comic shops before it hits mass market bookstores. So Thank you, Archie Comics, for showing the love to brick and mortar comic book stores. I should say comic book stores in general. Just really, yeah.
Surprisingly,
everything he said. I don't really care about Archie. I know enough about Archie because I watched the Archie cartoon. Archie cartoon was on when I was a kid.
Everything I know about Archie, I learned from Chasing Amy.
Okay, I have read some Archie comics. There's, I have a working man's knowledge of Archie, of the Archie universe. But a couple things that surprised both of us. There is a lesbian couple in this. Kevin Keller, of course, he's also in this, who is the first gay character in Archie Comics history. But there's also this brother and sister. I guess it's Cheryl Blossom and her brother, somebody or other. And it's very creepy, incestuous, weird. So, I mean, this is definitely, teen and up, I would say. And it's the Archie universe like you've never seen it before. And they did just announce this week that there's going to be an ongoing Sabrina series.
That was another thing. The Sabrina's in here as
Sabrina
part of the story.
Witch. Yeah.
And that surprised me how... I guess in my head I think of Melissa Joan Hart's Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and this was not that. It was
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what our top 5 list is. We
top 5 Kurt Russell movies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say top 5.
China.
Okay, I thought you were going to say top 5 John Carpenter.
We can do top 5 John Carpenter.
Let's do top 5 Kurt Russell movies.
Okay.
Because there's some hidden gems, I think that.
Okay.
So you go first.
I go first. I'm going to go with Big Trouble in Little China. There's a reason that I was so excited to pick up this comic book decades after the movie came out. Jack Burton is a great, iconic adventure character. He's everything you loved about the 80s. Just clicked up to 11. He's brash. He talks about himself in the third person. He just isn't afraid of anything, and he kicks in doors. And the movie just is so awesome. The great blending of actual mythology and made-up Hollywood mythology. Wonderful, It doesn't. Too many movies today hold your hand and explain everything as they go and assume that you're stupid. Big Trouble in Little China doesn't give a damn if you understand or not. They just keep moving and they
don't
need
need to understand it.
Right? They keep punching and
How
kicking.
How does that guy fly with the
jokes.
electricity and the guys with the lampshades on their head and
huge?
What is that creature
lampshades.
in the sewers and where did it come
I'm pretty
from?
sure that was a beholder from D&D.
Why does that guy look like Professor X?
And then there's a monkey ape guy.
Yeah.
Chinese got a lot of hells. It's funny. It's harrowing.
What's up with Egg's face?
Yeah, that's just his face. It's not nice enough.
Why are you making that face, Egg? Yes, Big
Yeah,
Trouble in Little China. Number
It
1.
defies explanation, but is super enjoyable to watch.
Wow, this is tough because I love me some Kurt Russell movies. So I'm going to go with Tombstone, which is quite possibly my favorite Western. And I know that's kind of lame because there have been so many Westerns, but I'm not a fan of John Wayne movies. I didn't watch Gary Cooper movies. For me, like, cinema starts with Star Wars. Like, anything before Star Wars, I probably haven't seen and don't desire to see it. With a few exceptions. I think, did Jaws come out before Star Wars? Jaws came out before Star Wars. So Jaws counts. The Wizard of Oz, some other things.
Sure.
Casablanca, maybe. So, as far as Westerns, I haven't seen a whole lot of them. My Westerns for me start at 1977 and before. So Tombstone, if you have not seen it, it's the story of Wyatt Earp, the shootout at the OK Corral, his brothers, the bad people. Kurt Russell plays Wyatt Earp and kicks all kinds of ass. He is the best Wyatt Earp, and he's got the best mustache. Everybody in this movie in Tombstone has great mustache. Val Kilmer gives the performance of a lifetime as Doc Holliday. Bill Paxton is in it, I think. I'm going to start mixing up Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner and Tombstone with what's his face, Kurt Russell. Which one has Sam Elliott with his sweet mustache? Sam Elliott's awesome too, by the way.
I think it's Tombstone.
Michael Biehn of Terminator and Aliens fame plays one of the bad guys. It's basically the story of Wyatt Earp and the shootout at the OK Corral. It's a very small portion of Wyatt Earp's life versus the film Wyatt Earp starring Kevin Costner, which is his entire life for the most part, which is why it's over 3 hours long. Tombstone is not 3 hours long. It is just awesome. Awesome Western. Gotta check it out.
I have a choice you're not going to like. I'm going to go with Follow Me Boys.
I have never even heard of that movie. You're going to go that scooter computer movie from Disney.
No, well, that's the thing. Kurt Russell was under contract as a kid's actor at Disney in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Most of the movies he made were as a teen. The Computer That Wore Tennis Shoes, The World's Strongest Man. Those are great, kind of fun, goofy, college-y, high school movies. But Follow Me Boys is the story of Fred McMurray, who becomes the scoutmaster of this little troop of scouts and is typical Fred McMurray kind of... Nothing seems to go well for him. At one point, he takes the boys camping and gets in trouble with the army. The army's on maneuvers. McMurray's like... They wander onto like a bombing or a shooting range or something and the alarms are going off. And it's just great kind of 50s era comedy. But it's a really moving story. Kurt Russell is little. I mean, he's 12, 10, 9. He's not very old, but he's great in it. His dad is kind of the town drunk, and so McMurray takes him under his wing, and they kind of form a bond, kind of a father-son thing. And then the movie goes out across and jumps to the future, and McMurray's older, and the boys get back together and build this cabin to him, and it's a tribute to him and what he did for the community. And just... It's really cool. It's a fun movie. It's the sort of movie they don't make anymore because there's no real bad guys other than life where things go wrong. But, it was humorous and poignant, and Kurt Russell gives one of the best children's performances I've ever seen. And Fred McMurray is an underrated actor by modern standards.
Was there a shaggy dog?
There's not a shaggy dog.
Was there Flubber?
No.
Okay. That's all I know about Fred McMurray. Thank you.
But follow me, boys.
Look it up. I've never heard of this one before, and I couldn't even remember the computer wore tennis shoes. All I knew was computer and something.
They run those all the time on like TBS or the Family Channel or something.
All right, so that was 3. So we need a couple more. You know what? This is a stretch.
Okay.
You know what? I just thought of 2.
Just bring them on.
No.
Just bring them on. It's okay.
I'm gonna go with Sky High.
Okay.
Kurt Russell is not in it a lot. He's the father. Sky High is a very underrated film as far as I'm concerned. It came out before The Incredibles, but very much had an Incredibles vibe to it. At least I think it did.
It was close, but
they were right around the same time. But it was and it's a Disney film. It was live action about a high school for kids who have superpowers and whose parents have superpowers. And the story focuses mainly on Kurt Russell and Kelly Preston's son, whose powers haven't really developed yet, and he's there, and there's this big evil plan, and Linda Carter's in it as the principal. I mean, you gotta love that. Some people who are famous now, I can't remember her name. She, oddly enough, I believe the girl that was in the remake of The Thing is the bad guy, the bad girl in Sky High. But Sky High, watched it with my kids years and years ago, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just can't say enough good things about Sky High. Kurt Russell playing a Mr. Incredible type of character.
Kurt Russell might actually be a superhero. I don't know. See, now I'm in trouble. Sky High.
You know what? We can just go on and on. Kurt Russell movies kick butt.
I'm going to go with The Thing. If you're not familiar with The Thing, it's the remake of the super old school movie Something Comes From Somewhere, and they're in Antarctica or the North?
Somewhere cold.
Somewhere very cold.
Somewhere with ice and snow.
You know, they're very secluded away from
Zebra,
everything. Yes. And the really neat thing, storyline-wise, is that the alien takes the shape of other people. So you don't know if any of the people in the group are actually the alien lying in wait to kill you. And I'm not a horror movie fan, but that's a movie that really stuck with me from when I saw it as a kid.
It's not really a horror movie, though. I mean, there's a lot of gross stuff in it, but it's not a horror movie.
But I mean, everyone in the movies and the threat of death. Yeah, suspense. Thriller is probably better.
Horror, definition. To me, has gotten a bad rap over the years, thanks to things like Saw and The Human Centipede, which, for God love people, who possessed, who came up with that idea? Anyway, the thing is, it's an 80s. Mm-hmm. Like the original Halloween is a horror movie, but there isn't much that you see that's horrific. It's all implied. It's all suspense. It's the music. John Carpenter at his best. Musically. Carry on.
No, I mean that was it. Kurt Russell
with a beard,
clever. He's a protagonist in the horror. So too many times when you watch a suspense or a thriller or a horror movie, the plot relies on someone who should be smart making poor decisions. And The Thing doesn't work like that. Russell's smart. They come up with ways to get themselves out of it, or at least try to. And I didn't see the remake, but it couldn't have been as good as the original. I didn't
either. I don't know why anyone would.
Well, not the original, but the Kurt Russell one, which I guess was itself a remake.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I think that's her name. It just came
the chick from Sky High in the remake of The Thing.
In the remake of The Thing. I think that. And she was in Die Hard 4 and 5.
Okay, I didn't.
She's John McClane's daughter. Best Bruce Willis movies. Here we go. All right, so that's 5, but really, I could just go on. I'm telling you.
Oh, we're doing Russell, not Carpenter. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, when you said Halloween, I'm like, oh, we forgot about Halloween. No. I'm like, no, wait, he's not.
Backdraft would also be, if I was doing a personal top 5, Backdraft would be on there, absolutely. Breakdown is an excellent film. If you haven't seen this, Kurt Russell and his wife's car break down, and they get hijacked by some crazy truck driver.
Escape from New York.
Oh, Escape from New York. How could we forget that?
I didn't forget it. There's just not enough in the list.
Yeah. Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash is the epitome of 80s
craziness.
Self-aware
Tango and
humor.
Cash was the Expendables of the 80s.
Exactly.
But, although it was just Sylvester Stallone. But it was Sylvester Stallone.
This guy thinks he's Rambo.
Kurt Russell and Jack Palance. I mean, you had the one-arm push-up guy and 2 of the biggest action stars.
Was he the one-arm push-up guy yet?
I believe because
it was City
Slickers, which was 1990, give or take. It's right around the same time.
Okay,
right
close. The same time. And also, I obviously appreciate his comedic stuff more than others. Captain Ron. Kurt Russell is really, really funny in Captain Ron. Overboard's not bad.
No, I vaguely.
We watched Overboard a lot when I was a kid, and I don't know why.
Anyway, what are your favorite Kurt Russell movies? I think we've named all of them. I haven't seen some
Why
of his
doesn't
more
he act
recent
anymore?
stuff. No, he's in this movie, which very much is like...
Oh, it just came out on video.
Yeah, it's like a heist movie.
Yeah, it was never in theaters. Like, at least
I don't
not
think
around
it
here.
was. Yeah, I definitely need to see that one. And then there was that one where he played a cop.
Dark Blue?
Yes, Dark Blue.
Which, was that the basis for the TV show? Dark Blue? Or not?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wasn't there a TV show about dirty cops?
Rookie Blue.
Rookie Blue?
Which was
Blue
not,
Bloods?
No.
Okay. Tom Selleck.
The Blue Lagoon. He was in that, right?
So, yeah.
So anyway, Kurt Russell movies. Are we nuts? Are we crazy? Let us know what your favorite Kurt Russell movies are and what comics you're checking out. If you liked Afterlife with Archie, if you're looking forward to the new Sabrina series set in the same time period. And what did you think of Original Sin number 3? Let us know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time.